Saturday twemi na Kessben University public lecture. Na lecture no mo brought too many issues that has to do with the private universities versus the public universities, and then the challenges are private universities ekumo na no ehun komo na yedi na watwe die bedi hun komo ye pesa ne se eboa ye nyina ye ti he nyina no yeso ye nya government anase yes ye nya government universities ni bia nkwa private universities no ene ye ko na eno no yakwa akogya adisua efi hono and how ene nsemo mukumu nyina no ya bedi ni nyina ho komo dia na mekwa ahoma no se na mene the Honorable Dr. Kingsley Ajiman, or your MP for Ebuakwa South, and also a member of the Education Committee, a Parliament, Indian Komo, and Fahuni share sa a discussion see starting but what really and truly will government and as in the proposal so tier committees with some matter concerns in be regarding private universities versus the government universities, the challenges that they go through no ni eni hun komana fe yemra ba kona bo mo wachi e mo akwaba e ba Kessben TV so na fe so Kessben 92.9 me gidi ye se ohun ye
kojo nyame adom me ho ye na mo ye
radio adom kakaka ye gusu ankasa a ye hwe de ko ene de e ba nyina warama ye ni nkomoni ye hwe de ko so when it comes to the education sector. So there are some key policy impacts and challenges here. Private university for no mom identify has to do with some of the things that government institutions will, like for instance the universities, yes, specific private universities so anymore. First off, in me ditum if you hose bibisa abetomo ni memeto ni ma o joining a committee mwenya infractions bi mwenya certain comments coming from the private universities ana
yo kojo me ka ma share with you for no ahwefo nyina
mojoso
na menka se ade amafa moye de it is a public spirited campaign pa na moye.
Yeah, that's it.
Most especially for me as a person minya akwenya somewhere about education financing department, scholarship secretariat, and maybe a private for private institutions, private tertiary institutions, go through a lot. Americans say we don't even need to go to parliament or even sit on the education committee to understand.
Okay.
As a member of parliament, the people's representative, your constituents, most of the time, over the years, government policies be about it is geared towards the public sector. I'm sure the obvious reason is availability of resources.
No, correct.
It is scheming na yaya non kakaka. Na the meeting I can't what they will say. Because wabo Nanado Danko Kufa Basso. If Sekojo, I'm not in Yapanya, yes, was scholarship secretariat. Na local scholarship ni ho.
Oh, okay.
Na local scholarship ni ho. Yeah, the local scholarship buy for obio ye Ghana ni owo university, whether public or private. As the core assemblies no class the by selection process no yankunya how be brain. It's a problem because universities are even public universities cry. Student indebtedness. A car school for a or school fees. A public universities grandpa a teacher for no aketiano a buying a which means that the source of revenue is not solely tuition fees and other fees and charges on money. How much more a private university? It's 100% solely on investing in internally generated funds, which includes fees. And especially in the year, Ghana for the sign the convenience. Any Apanya private investors in any manner. Public investors in the brain Emma. Young private investors in a buy. Almost last year, we shall Methodist investing on Central investing on President on other ones. That's Krananka. Weekend school. Weekend school for masters.
Yes.
With the public universities.
No correct.
evening school. So we ye juma na wenya kwenya wa pebre kakra na wakonu akosua de no. Na enye regular with the public universities.
Yeah, no correct.
Private universities ya. And almost kakra. When it comes to even continuous professional development programs, private universities ya. If you run a private universities need play a educational value chain on there. It's also buying share because should be a buying about to say first years for no stress fees.
Exactly.
For first years. A BB ever saw public universities na sempa. Now private universities no any numbers na how mo Ghana for na almost all the way to even colleges of education. Your private ones or any tertiary university and also almost every region be unikra or basically with a lot of satellite campuses all over. Their population is said their doors no. We can only appeal say Abaino expanded the scope of the no stress first year fees no. Onshore mokakra. Now even say if there are other interventions that will be geared solely to support the private universities now. Because we no mu play no say a free wa for money betumi akwa him. Sure, we be to say even financing for private universities or kwaje besia or borrow at the commercial rate now ankrankra bi o ye na adwuma so ye den borrow no. And most of these private universities are mission-led universities. Yeah. Which means that their objective is not for profit. It's almost family there.
Like you're saying, I'm even somebody who is benefiting from this same private universities where I also do weekend. We start Friday, maybe Sunday, Monday, I mean, it's exciting to be there to also learn once you also work. But then again, if clearly some of these things have been there for a very long time, for instance, if they're not able to even equal funding, I mean subsidies from Get Fund, they are not even getting it. I mean issues, for instance, of taxation where they are paying the corporate tax and they've even asked for almost about 25% this corporate tax, and we are not seeing anything from there. Free entry to first year, it has really shrinked the numbers. Anka esesa nkomoso omunya kwenya nkomoso mutumi draw to also make the business or probably the school functioning now. Eswate one of the things almost Sandy Home Common has to do with ABS a friend is saying campuses. Not the same government universities, you know, so SMBA satellite schools, SMBA city campuses. So it still further gives them that hurdle to go through it. I mean, accreditation problems, a problem. Faculty recruitment, a problem. Meanwhile, the government public universities now, you are having or matching almost about 600 to 700 students per lecture. Why we even here says I put there any lectures no crap on extra no almost substitutes for no extra kwalana there. So why won't government see to it with immediate effect to position well to accept the fact to say universities or private universities have come to stay and they are doing the needful, and therefore we should change the whole paradigm shift?
I mean, Kwajo, I perfectly agree with you. Now, when you can't see a tier for become one. Also, MPP manifesting about 2024. There were a lot of interventions that it was just towards the private universities and other private led day. Problems in there, and one can know. Hey, baby, Americano, you who almost there, I buy who almost there. They are private entities or more now commercial. But forgetting that role no more play. Exemptions will be native to the Get Fund. Who say our way? Ghana and India contributes to the Get Fund.
Exactly.
Ghana and India contributes to the Get Fund by virtue of service tax ahead. It's here. And the other intervention, we Get Fund. Who want to make schools our Other than a formula, and it's a very good thing we are even discussing this now.
Yeah.
For the next year, get fund formula. I was saying to me, to make your allocation be to the private university. I see a so much money because you so much money. They will get into areas and they public universities, they are crowding out the private universities.
Exactly.
Like I said, how to reach areas with Briananka public universities in Ankom. And no more competing with the same. Now the infant is like a crown and come away and come taking coffee. And I can subsidy the idea for first year free. And I can extending and only to them one. Many should say out of place. And I said deliberately like we did when we were in power. It to be a local scholarship. Include them. To include them to pay their fees because portion of financials are indebted. Student indebtedness is very huge. Very, very, very high. Even the public university that is highly supported by government, indebtedness and nothing. So the call is very good. I think Aban will have to have a look at it and let's sustain the pressure and the advocacy because that is the only way I bet and can.
Okay.
Any regime be take it from the public because when you are a public and you are consuming something, there is no mechanism to determine say we are going to we are private and as we are public. It is for the common good of our people. And I answer just to say role a private university a play it is. It cannot be overemphasized. A role be a win here pa. Now private universities. I mean, because I say me too. I had opportunity to do my master's at a private university because at the time, 2010, 2009, that public universities no more weekend masters.
Yeah, okay.
More weekend masters. And the ABBA, a boy in government should have a second look at it.
Okay. Other one sana be kokra no me gidi se wo education committee there what enra making kan press release be coming from the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference and Christian Council of Ghana. This issue ba be critical edidimu but as ye ni enshadan ko the issue of the historical partnership between the mission schools and then government coming in. Now it is becoming more or less like a samba beye or half for asamaye. In as much as previously there been some form of a memorandum of understanding that has been signed way back I think 2024. I'm talking about the government assisted and then private mission schools. Issue of ba yesuku na yewo yen culture and also religious and nema they establish a school no and no say wo basa na yempene ema wo end really and I say on to na se sa na tie entino etese wo bana be dan on the issue of getting other religious sects into the schools are hard you me sure so what kind of press statement and answer when is it something we need to nip it in the bud in term senior beya enkofa anaso bruni beka escalate
I mean my opinion is very straightforward.
Okay.
Your religious I like the word that we use the government partner mission schools.
Yes.
Yes, the government did not take over the mission schools. Or by a partner. One may take over. I thought by a partner. The structures of the schools were there.
And correct.
The partners, the contribution of the buyer was to absorb a teacher for and to take care of certain responsibilities, and that's those times now is solely borne by the missions.
Yeah.
Missions, schools no more negatives at the track. The main objective was to inculcate their doctrines and theologies into the social lives of the people who go to serve there or who go to study there. The apostolic name, the Pope John Secondary School, a Roman school. The choir, 12 o'clock, they are evangelus. The Roma, sorry. And other than an issue. Because me call on and I'm for the me call on because at the time I'm less than 18. Now, say, oh, you're less than 18, and like the Constitution says, for the purpose of education, your rights are controlled by your guardians or superiors. And see, I knew what I was going. My parents knew what I was going to sign up for, and there's no practice that is injurious. Practice being one man, ebeha for that, and also saying, you know, and see, we shouldn't heighten this thing so much.
Okay,
it's something that my money may and then said, yeah, Ghana, we have come a very long way, and people even envy the way we tolerate one another. And then, Mr. Islamic school, meaning and I know what I'm signing up for.
Okay,
and I mean, where the and then the reason we had the boarding school system right from the gaining independence was to tolerate one another by virtue of our ethnic and religious backgrounds, so that we can coexist. And that is what has helped us all this while. It's not buying money may then say or yama bibia koye. No, the mission schools, you did not take over the mission schools. You partnered them. You partnered them. May imagine say me call China. May imagine say Chinese kasa na may den. Chinese eduane na may den. And these missions, no. I mean, oko a TI Madia.
Yeah.
Secondary school a year. And then I Christopher call. And we have tolerated one another. We have coexisted, and everything is fine. Move that on person we and Christian Council form. The schools if the government feels that or force side with the end, I bind them in the schools. And then you schools needing that that's all.
Yes.
Secondary school, Catholic school, Presec, all the Presec schools are Presbyterian schools.
Yes, and correct.
I mean, there's no ambiguity about this.
Yes.
If the government feels that they say our minded do baby or maybe on withdraw the partnership, that mission is no ever come back for Friday at the school. Because the Christian values and as the values of religion are very, very, very important to every mission school. In fact, it is the overreacting objective in terms of the year of school to propagate our beliefs.
Yeah, no correct.
Yes. To propagate their beliefs. Yes. It's where they are buying money merchant, money may file more than schools now buying your dear. You are a partner. And stay as a partner and you don't impose. Because tell me here mission school, no, my contribution is my value. The values, you know, and I have a core contribution. Values, you know, all the other support me for a lot of assistance, maybe easy. But you can't take away my values. The mere fact that I can't be there, who will seek me here? I'll say them community. The who will seek another woman and say, the core objective, the entire you are going to take away from me. You borrow from the IMF. Do they take away our Ghanaian citizenship? They can't. No matter how big I did, a World Bank. What me I say, or better say, am I in Ghana for?
Yeah, no crap.
The because why Ghana for, regardless of only contribution they might, the contribution will not change us as Ghanaians.
Honorable Wakasa. Better as a pass here, no ding come on, repair best bani no be ding come we that's the Honorable Dr. Kingsley Ajuman, MP, Buakwa South, and after yeah, member of the Education Committee, and you know, Edin Komo, Efa Ayen Komo, you know, Koso, a woman when it comes to Suku, make the issue of private universities.